listen, exciting things to talk about today in Albuquerque, in downtown Albuquerque. And the reason it's exciting is because we've got some opportunities. We're going to tell you about those today, but we've also got leaders and partners that have joined us today to tell you how this might impact what they do and how they can go about their business and make sure that Albuquerque is truly one of the most unique places in the world, and a place that people want to come and visit, and a place where locals can enjoy their time here with their families as well. Today we're going to talk about our lodger's tax plan and what we're going to do with those revenues. So that sounds a little dry on the surface. Let me give you a little bit of background. We have a lodger's tax in New Mexico, and that lodger's tax has to be used for two express purposes in general. Those purposes are to build facilities that promote tourism and lodging, and to spend those dollars to promote our great city and the great assets that we have here. The economy's on the upswing here. Tourism is on the upswing. And our lodger's tax revenues are on the upswing. So that gives us opportunities. So then the big question is, because we have to use those resources for very specific things, how are we going to put those resources to the highest and best use to create value in our community, in a place where people want to come from all over the world and visit, in a place where our kids and our families and our students and our athletes and others can have a great time, and we can come see them. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Working with our partners behind me, and with me I've got Peter Sanchez from Mariachi Spectacular is here. I've got Joe Brown from the Western Music Association here. We've got Ernie C. DeBaca from the Hispano Chamber of Commerce has joined us today. We've got Sally Marquez from the NMAA, the High School Athletic Association. We've got Dan Serrano from AAU Basketball. I think John O'Hara is here from Hotel Andalus. Oh, he's too shy to come up. Come on, join us, man. I got Jim Perricone from Hyatt. Jim, we're looking behind you. There you are. We've got Cynthia Fresquez from Doubletree Hotels with us today. You can join us if you'd like to. Certainly Tanya Armenta from ACVB is here. And then we've got Jerry Mosier is here with us, and Jerry's part of the team called One Central Operating Associates LLC. Okay, that's a long way of saying these are the folks that won the award, or that won the competition to build the entertainment hub, which is rendering here on the far right. And then of course I've got Bob Murphy from the Economic Forum, longtime leader in our community. And I'm sure I've missed a few folks, but here's the point: a broad spectrum of people that are making good things happen in Albuquerque. Let me boil this down for you. We've got about $23.5 million to put to use in our community for these very specific purposes. About half of that will go for promotions to the city. About half, the $23.5 million is about half the total amount. Let me make sure I'm clear on that. So today we're not going to talk about the promotions. We've got great partners with ACVB, the Hispano Chamber, that are going to take those dollars and promote our city. Today's about what we do with the capital side of that, what we do, what kind of projects can we build that will make a difference in our city. And we're going to center this $23.5 million on 4 areas. And all of these are going to take place in downtown Albuquerque. Councilor Benton is with us today. He's going to tell you a little bit about how this is going to impact this district, but he's going to tell you also how it's going to impact the city of Albuquerque. We're going to concentrate on 4 major projects. Excuse me, I've got a mic in the way here. We're going to concentrate on 4 major projects. First of all, this room that we're standing in here today is the east side of our convention center. We are going to spend about $5 million to make this a convertible space for an event center, pavilion, arena, up to 10,000 seats. And that's this rendering that you see here. Very, very preliminary renderings, okay? But the bottom line is we can turn this, with an investment of around $5 million, we believe we can turn this into a place that can be converted into a world-class event center or arena for great events. And we'll talk about some of those great events here in just a little bit. Second thing is Civic Plaza. We've spent, it seems like every year as a mayor, we talk about how we can get that fountain running, how are we going to fix it, how are we going to keep it from leaking into the parking structure, how are we going to do, how are we going to keep this thing going. Everybody likes the water feature, and so do I, and so do our team members. So we're going to look at spending around $2 million to upgrade the fountain feature in Civic Plaza, potentially add some shade structures that light up with LED lighting, a few preliminary concepts. So let me make sure that other than other than the First and Central project that's been fairly definitized. These are ideas today. We just brought some renderings to show you. We kind of have a balloon theme to that, something that looks like Albuquerque, just another reason to come to Civic Plaza with your family. And SMG, by the way, has done, they run the convention center for us. They've done an absolutely fantastic job of reinventing Civic Plaza. We did a pretty good thing a while back. We fired ourselves from running Civic Plaza, and we hired SMG. Not that we didn't have great people on the city side, but we've got folks that do this all day, every day around the country, and they're doing a wonderful job. So Civic Plaza, $2 million. Now, parking downtown is always an issue for folks, and we always hear about that. So as part of this request for proposals, this competitive proposal process we had, there is a 400 spot parking structure tied to that development. The city of Albuquerque is looking at $15.5 million investment to put that parking structure in there as part of that feature. So if you notice, if you put yourself from a bearing standpoint, right behind that is Innovate ABQ, the old First Baptist site. That's where the epicenter is. If you read the article in the Journal this morning about the Innovation Academy from UNM, that's where UNM's looking at putting in their Innovation Academy. This is ground zero for innovation in the city of Albuquerque. The rail runner stops there as well. So we're looking at adding 400 parking spots downtown, and then we're going to take $1 million and we're going to upgrade the parking downtown. We've got some old meters. Mike Reardon and his team at the city and the folks at DMD are always down there trying to figure out the parking meters, get them working properly, make it easy for people to park. So we've got $1 million. So $5 million to convert this, to make this into a convertible pavilion space while still making it available for large-scale conventions. $15.5 million to help with 400 parking spots in the parking structure on a public-private partnership. $2 million to help with the fountain and renovations at Civic Plaza, and then $1 million for downtown parking. This is a plan that was developed with our partners and kind of by our partners. We had people come to us and say, we need places to have these events. We want to do things. And if you can make some of these investments, we're going to be able to leverage those on behalf of the city. So there's a couple of folks that have already expressed some interest in having their events here. NMAA, we're talking about, is there a rendering with, you see a basketball court, I guess, in this one, but it's a place where you could have sporting events, entertainment events, cultural events, all kinds of different things there. We've got Western Music Association here today. They're talking to us about long-term agreements, but it also, just use your imagination a little bit. Look at some of the other big events that are happening in Albuquerque and what it would be like to have those downtown. We're going to be reaching out to a lot of folks to talk about that and what that might look like. So we're very excited about this. This is a great opportunity. We've got a city councilor that's really driving this in his district. He's talking to other city councilors. Rob Perry and his team are working hard, Mike Reardon in our office, but mostly I want to say thanks to all of our partners that are doing great things in the city. We're here to help you succeed. We're here to make investments with taxpayer dollars to help those in the cultural arenas and the private sector arenas succeed, because when they succeed, we succeed. We're a very special place, and these folks are doing great things that make Albuquerque one of the great cities in America. So with that, I'm going to bring up a couple of speakers. First is Councilor Isaac Benton to tell you about his vision, what his thoughts are, and why he thinks this matters. And I want to thank you, sir, for your leadership on this and all the other things we're doing downtown. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. And Mayor Berry has really stepped up to the plate for downtown. I've been one of those people that was a wolf crying in the wilderness, I think, for a while. I felt that way anyway, but not really. There have been plenty of people devoted to downtown and residents of downtown, and people believe that no city worth its salt is not going to have a good downtown. We see our competitive cities, people we compete against with in other cities, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau is competing with for dollars of investment in events and tourism. And they all have made big investments in their downtown. What I like about this investment is it's kind of like what we did with the Convention Center. It's smart use of the money. It's not tear it down, bond and build a gazillion dollar new facility. This idea of the arena here is fantastic. It's something that we've been talking about for a long time. The space will still be flexible, as I understand it. We can set it up as an arena, and we can break it down and still have it be a convention facility. That's smart use of money, and I really support that kind of thing as an architect and as a famous Albuquerque architect. Antoine Predock, he had a joke. We had a card that said, it didn't say architect, it said value engineer on it, meaning that he had to constantly look out for the public dollar, and that's a responsibility of anybody building a public facility. But I was asked, what is this doing for downtown? And I think what I'm saying is it's further public and private investment in downtown. It's furthering something that's already happening. And let's not run down downtown. Some of the, there are questions about bars and so forth. Some of the worst bars are already gone. We're turning around downtown with residents living here, getting housing in place, which one of the projects will do, that'll help the Innovate project and help get younger people downtown. The demand is there for housing downtown. This is going to help meet that demand. Civic Plaza has been very exciting to see the changes that have occurred there. So all this is building on good news that's already happening with downtown. And I'm confident we're going to get there this time. The downtown's really going to be a place that the whole city is proud of. Whether they like to go downtown for whatever reason, only to pay their bills. That even if that's all they do, they still recognize how important it is to have a vibrant urban downtown. And that's what's going to attract the millennials that we want in the city. That's going to be our next generation of residents. Many of them want to live downtown, and I'm really excited about the arena concept. I was a big supporter of the multi-billion-million-dollar arena project. This is a more modest way of going about achieving the same thing. And I think it's very innovative. So I need to correct that to the person that asked, is there anything innovative? And I said, well, it's mostly building on something, other innovation, good things that are happening already. But this project in particular, I really like, Mayor. And thanks for your leadership on it. And we'll look forward to seeing it all come together. Thanks.
Council, thank you. Thank you, Council Ben. I really enjoyed working with you downtown. There's a lot of great things going on. I had conversations yesterday about the rail yards. Some good things happening down there. So that's one of the go-to places now over the last couple of years. Innovate ABQ, the private sector investments that we're looking at over here. This downtown grocery store and that project, I understand they're just really having great luck with their leasing down there. People want to be here. And I'd add on to the millennials, not say empty nesters want to be downtown too. There's a lot of people moving to urban core that kids are off on their own, they're downsized, and they want to be in a vibrant place where they can walk and do things and not have to get in a car. Of course, we're waiting to hear about our bus rapid transit line, the ART line. We'll hear about that probably sometime in February. So lots and lots of exciting things. And the one thing I will dovetail on what the councilor said, what Councilor Benton said, there's no new taxes here. There's no new fees here. We're doing exactly what we did in the Convention Center. We're taking resources, we're allocating them in a way that's smart. And I said no to the downtown arena originally. And the reason I did that is because I got some folks together to help me crunch the numbers, and near as I could figure, it was going to take about a 65% taxpayer subsidy every year to keep those doors open. And at some point, that's just a fatigue and a drain on the system. And I've talked to other mayors in other communities, and that's not always the panacea, but you know what? Like you said, we're getting the same thing done with the dollars we have. We're doing it smart, we're being pragmatic, and it's going to be great. So next I'm going to bring up Ernie Cedebaca, who I've known for a long time. I knew Ernie in the legislature, a great guy. He's here to represent the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber. They're one of our partners with Lodgers Tax, along with Tanya Armenta and ACVB, and he's got a few comments. Ernie.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody. It's great to be here today. I'm very excited. The Albuquerque Hispano Chamber is a big supporter of this initiative. You know, we're part of downtown. We're in Bareilles, but we really are an extension of the downtown area. And you know, we bring in conventions, events, and tourism, and what this does is helps us promote new events, to bring new events to Albuquerque. We specialize in the Hispanic and Native American events and conventions. So this allows us to have more conventions, more events, and in partnership with ACVB and others, Our clients, current clients, are Mariachi Spectacular and the Western Music Association in conjunction with ACVB. But I think they are here today. They are excited about this. This allows them, the current and existing annual events that go on, to continue to grow and have another opportunity here in downtown. This is extremely beneficial to the downtown area and the businesses here, and it's very exciting to see all the new activity here. Speaking for Alex Romero, who couldn't be here today, we are very excited and support very much the leadership of Mayor Berry, Council Ike Benton, and we're very much in support of this. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. So we have a couple of folks that I just asked if they would like to step up. Open mic day. People that are here. I know that Sally Marquez from NMAA is here. We've got some others that may want to come up and simply say who they are, where they're from, and if they have, just a couple of thoughts on this. Sally, you want to kick this off? You want to go?
Thank you very much. For those of you who don't know, the New Mexico Activities Association is a membership-led organization, and we have 160 high schools and over 200 middle schools that are involved in our association. So we reach hundreds of thousands of students throughout New Mexico. And we're very excited because every single time that we have an event, we are looking for these students to be able to perform, to compete in world-class facilities. And so we thank Mary Berry for this vision, because we really believe that this facility would be something that we would utilize for our student athletes of New Mexico. And our student athletes and our activities, what our mission is to teach these kids lifelong skills. And what better way through competition and good facilities that we can do that. So thank you very much, and we're looking forward to being a partner.
Thanks a lot.
Hi folks, I'm Joe Brown from the Western Music Association, and I want to put on two hats here. I'm also a state music commissioner, and so just looking at the big picture, yes, the WMA sees a lot of wonderful things happening because of this initiative. The State Music Commission can see wonderful things happening. Another place that acts that might otherwise go from Dallas to Phoenix or Oklahoma City to Los Angeles and so forth will see this, what we're building here, as a place they can stop. So whether it's Western music, jazz, whatever, we're very, very, very excited.
Thanks, Joe.
Good morning, I'm Dan Serrano. I'm the state director for the New Mexico District of AU Basketball, which interestingly encompasses El Paso and the 6 surrounding counties around El Paso. So it's a huge district, and this is an interesting discussion that we're having in a direction that we're going, because I've been being lobbied very heavily by the CVB in El Paso to bring a lot of our events over there, because they think we've sort of fallen off the track here in Albuquerque. I will say that I did get the memo, Mayor, to dress up, and I went from a t-shirt to a collared shirt, and you guys, I'm sure, feel out of place, but nonetheless, the vision is great. We represent over 5,000 kids in New Mexico, 2,000 alone in the metro area of Albuquerque. But what you need to understand with AAU is we also represent the adult side, which is another part of what we haven't been able to encompass. So when we talk about bringing sports activities with economic development and to continue to enhance the GRT and the net economic impact to our community, a vision like this, which I don't even think it's a vision anymore, it's going to come to fruition with all the folks behind us, and your leadership and Councilor Benz and the council will only make this community shine brighter on the map of youth basketball and adult basketball. So I applaud you for your leadership on this, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
And good morning, everybody. My name is Peter Sanchez. I represent Mariachi Spectacular. It's a company that has been in this community for about 25 years. And already we utilize the downtown. Every year, our conference, which is a music conference and set of concerts, utilizes the Civic Plaza. And so we bring thousands of people, families and young kids, to New Mexico, to Albuquerque, from around the country, and they get to see our downtown. It's really great to hear that we're going to do even more to make it look more beautiful. It's already a very beautiful place. Last year we got to utilize the western end of the Convention Center, and they made a very good impression on a lot of people who are new to our town. Hearing the plans for the renovation to the Civic Plaza will only enhance what we're already doing. So this is an excellent idea, and I applaud the leadership of the mayor and Councilor Benton and all the others who are part of this. It's going to be a fantastic thing for Albuquerque, and certainly a good thing for Mariachi Spectacular. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Armenta. I'm with the Albuquerque Convention and Visitors Bureau. Just want to say how much we support this. I thank the mayor for his vision and his administration, the work that they've been doing on this, along with Councilor Benton, who serves on our executive committee. We're just, downtown plays a critical role in the work that we do, and it's very important, not only vibrancy of downtown, but to see this infusion of money allow us to bring more people in, and to talk about not only tourism and convention bringing additional dollars into the community and additional visitors, but you need to look at the important economic development role that plays as well. We're bringing in people who could become future residents of Albuquerque, future entrepreneurs in Albuquerque, and future business leaders. So this infusion of money is spectacular, and we're very supportive of it and look forward to promoting it. Thank you.
Thanks. So we'll open it up for questions here in a minute. Let me just close with this. We've been talking about sports tourism for years. We've got an absolutely world-class sports complex we're getting ready to start on the west side, thanks to all of our city councilors. Each and every one of them has been instrumental in making these investments, and this will now go to the city council. They will give the ultimate approval for this, and so we are asking them for their support. I think Councilor Benton has been working hard to talk to other councilors to make sure that there's an understanding that this is really a citywide project, even though it happens to be in his district. I certainly see it that way. So we're talking about sports tourism. We're talking about multiculturalism. You got 2,400 people across the street today at a dual language multicultural conference. And more of this is what we need in Albuquerque. And we're keeping it us. We're making this us. This is what we look like. This is what we feel like. That's what we did with the Convention Center in the first time. And I'll just end with this. Sometimes people will say, hey, is this one of those build it and they'll come things? No, we're going to build it because they're already here. And we're going to build it because they will also come. So, very excited. Thanks for the leadership, everybody here. Thanks for the partnerships. And it's going to be a good thing for Albuquerque. Anybody have any questions?
Hey, Mayor, put something in perspective for me.
Sure.
All the talk about the arena originally, how much was it going to be, ballpark idea?
Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds.
And basically, I have a real thick binder in my office that I spent a lot of midnights my first year in office studying that, because that was very much on the table. And talking to some experts and using some of my background and my financial education and some of my construction experience, and really mostly talking to other experts, it just became evident that particular plan, as nice as it was just going to be a real drain. And think about building that and then going into the economy that we've had to go through in the last couple, 3, 4, 5 years. And look at some other projects around the region that have struggled. Sometimes it's hard to say no to something that looks cool and neat. But I think we did the right thing. And now we have, in my opinion, as good or maybe even a better option, because it actually works. It works fiscally, and it works for the partners that we already have. And then, there's all kinds of opportunities. Just imagine court spaces, imagine concert spaces, imagine commencements, imagine all kinds of different things happening here. And we've already had people step up and say they can and will use it, and I think there'll be more to come.